Hello everybody, welcome back to Sonic and the Glitchless Gauntlet. We have kicked off day 2 with some 8-bit action. Argick took us through Sonic Triple Trouble for the Game Gear, and we're about to move on to another Game Gear title. But before we go into that, I'd just like to say that your subs, gift subs, Prime Gaming subs, and bits help support these weekly hotfix content. There's not only this show, this one's a one-off, but there are also other shows that go on. I have my own, Going Places, where we look at handheld games as well as region exclusives. This being a handheld game, maybe at some point I'll get Flame on. I think we've had a few conversations about that in the past. But yeah, your support in that way really helps these run, and yeah, without you we couldn't do it. So please consider supporting this daily content if you enjoy them. And without further ado, Sonic Chaos for the Game Gear with Finalflame. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing pretty well so far. Excited to be showing off a really amazing game, another 8-bit Game Gear game. This game was released on SMS as well, but I kind of like Game Gear more, so we're sticking with that. Nobody's surprised that knows me. Yeah, I'm Finalflame. I am joined by somebody you may or may not recognize. You probably do. Hi, Argick.
Hello!
Arg just did that amazing glitchless run of Triple Trouble.
Glitchless.
And I was going to...
In inverted commas.
Glitchless. It was glitchless, I tell you. It was a trick.
And now he's got to be helping me talk about Sonic Chaos.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun.
So it's telling me to press the start button. This game in the 8-bit series introduced Tails as a playable character. Sonic 2 teased it, but you didn't get it. Here you have that as an option. But I've never actually done a full run as Tails, so we're sticking with Sonic. Let's get this show on the road in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. So the first thing I'm going to notice about this game, unlike the prior 8-bit games, you have a peel out. You also have a spin dash. It's really nice to have those. Makes movement in this game quite different than the prior 8-bit games.
Nice recovery.
Not much.
So there you saw Finalflame do a very nice recovery. Ideally, you want to do a spin dash onto the back of the spring on the enemy there. Unfortunately, missing it, but Finalflame just being able to completely, just understand immediately, do the roll, do the jump to the end of the stage, and away we go. That was stage 1. By the way, all stages are like this. They're really short. Here we go.
Yes. This one should be another short one. There's an invincibility box right here. You don't want to grab that. That's unfortunate. Invincibility gives you a lot of lag in this game, so I actually have to do some alternate strats there to get to these rocket shoes, which you did just see in Triple Trouble. They were also in this game.
They were indeed. This game came first. This was the first game that actually had the peel out, the spin dash, and the well, not necessarily the spin dash, but definitely the peel out and the rocket boots. Maybe one day they'll make a return for us.
Arg, do you want to talk about why I'm getting silent at the end of each stage?
Yeah.
Because I do have to focus during that.
So, Finalflame will completely stop because at the end of each stage, the signpost, if it doesn't troll you, will start basically... You want to time a peel out from the left-hand side of the stage to the right-hand side of the stage and time it just as the screen unlocks, like Finalflame did there. That gives Sonic moving at a faster speed and actually saves you time on each of the level transitions. The timing on it is super tight, especially when you're on the Game Gear that has this amount of screen crunch, because the screen is tiny. You are zoomed in a lot.
And even though it only saves a small amount per stage, that very much adds up. So I do have to be careful here. So I keep this run glitchless. I did not want to hit that spring. So at the end of this tunnel, I need to do a jump. Okay, and we didn't glitch. It is real easy to pretty much do a stair clip if you're familiar with Sonic 3 Knuckles or Sonic 2 on the Genesis and accidentally clip into the wall. You don't want to do that. If that happens, it is a death. And a glitch. We can't do glitches.
Dun dun dun. But yeah, so one of the main differences that you will see here between the Game Gear and the Master System games is, of course, the real estate on the screen. The Game Gear having a smaller screen means you are zoomed in more on Sonic, so you have to know what's coming and do a lot of blind jumps. Finalflame here understanding exactly where the jumps are. Going to do a peel out, hit the hidden spring, going to run towards the enemy, because then stop, charge a spin dash, wait until a certain point, do the big jump to the end of the stage, and away we go in 16 seconds.
Yeah, I always recommend anyone looking to play one of the early 8-bit games that are on both Game Gear and Master System, play the Master System version first and learn that just so you can actually see the level, understand where you're jumping, what the terrain's like. Makes it a little bit easier to transition over to the Game Gear version.
The stages themselves are almost identical. There are a few changes. Obviously, the other thing as well is music is different between the two games too. But here we go for, in my opinion, the hardest boss in the video game. So hard that I completely didn't realize that the game... What? Why does Game Gear get an easier time on that? Why does the Game Gear get an easier time? I dislike this. No.
I don't know why Arg finds that so hard. That looked pretty easy.
Keep in mind, I had no rings for that. I could have easily died on that first hit, or really any other hit.
I still don't like how easy that was.
On that boss, always be sure to enter the boss arena from the top tube. That'll make the boss take less hits.
Yep.
It does take less hits on the Game Gear version compared to SMS, no matter what, though.
It does, and that's a death.
Hey, did you know you should be jumping in this game?
You should be jumping. Did you know that this game likes to nom your inputs as well?
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard that about all the 8-bit games.
Oh no.
That one's on me. That one was 100% on me.
Yeah, so what we are actually trying to do here is do a nice big peel out, jumping at the edge of the levels here, then using the spring to land at the Robotnik statue there, land on the rocket shoes, and head to the end of the stage. But again, the game lags a little bit, and when it lags out, there's a chance that it's going to eat your jump, and then you are just going straight down into the hole. And that's what we had happen there. Thankfully, I'm not the only one getting bullied by the 8-bit games.
Add to that, you can't even see the platform until you're right on top of it. It's really easy to accidentally miss it.
Oh, yeah.
Good old time lost there. All right, so something we're going to do a little bit different in this stage. We are going to go into a special stage where we will not be grabbing any of the emeralds. You'll see this hopefully a total of 4 times in this run. And the reason being, so you enter a special stage when you get 100 rings, you can immediately fail out. And it's just quicker doing this, in part because you don't have this countdown at the end. It starts at 0. So it's faster than going to the end of the normal stage and hitting the signpost and having to deal with all that.
It's great.
So that was 1 of 4.
And now onto the sleeping egg. Nice jumps at the start there, getting over the hills. One final peel out to the end. Now the question is this boss the same as the Master System version? Let's find out.
Nope, it's easier.
Oh.
Because he's right there at the end.
And you just bounce on his head. I don't like
Pretty
this.
much. One thing of note, so I initially end up at the right side of the boss. You don't want to stay on the right side or you actually will die. He will jump super high up in the air and kill you. So I had to briefly tap left to stay on the left side of the boss.
Yeah.
Not the first boss that's like that. But don't worry, Arg. The next boss will get revenge. It's much easier on SMS.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. So this stage is hold right to win.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Mecha.
Quick left there just to roll into this.
Dodging all the metallic coconuts there. And away we go, end of the stage. Very nice. The question is the second stage still Pune Sugoi?
The second stage isn't too bad. It's Act 3 is the trouble one in this. It's actually a completely different level layout than it is on SMS. Much harder.
Let's have a look and see the stage here. Should be a peel out and then jump over it, which it is, which is nice there. Those enemies with the springs on the back, you don't want to hit them. I mentioned Pune Sugoi because there's spikes up there. Oh, there you go. Yeah, good recovery.
Yeah. Can you talk about how that platform works?
Yes, that platform where you're running sideways on it there, that is all momentum based. If you stop your momentum for any reason, you will fall through it and you will fall down. And you're going to see with great difficulty, because if you keep falling down, you will eventually fall down and just hit a kill plane and die. The problem is you cannot turn on those. You can't turn on them because your momentum goes to 0. So we're about to see some more of them in Mecha Green Hill 3, I think. Maybe.
Fingers crossed this goes well.
So spring up, land on it, keep the mid. Yay!
So that strat I just found about a week ago, and it's taken me a while to get it pretty consistently. So this boss, you're on top of him, but he's actually trying to hit you in a diagonal. So you're going to see after this next hit, I actually have to get off so I don't get hit by that. I might have to do that again, hopefully not. This boss is very hard for me to get consistently. Yeah, I'm gonna play it safe there. Don't get hit. Okay.
Good recovery.
Yeah, that is actually a hard boss in this version.
Yeah, I'm noticing that basically the game is compensating for the lack of screen space and is positioning the bosses always on the very right of the map, Whereas in the Master System version, they're generally on like the last third. But here we go, Aqua Planet. Gonna go through here.
This should be our second Emerald stage.
Hopefully.
Keyword being should.
Now you got this. Oh, and it does, but yeah.
Not over.
Big jump. Last set of rings.
Now
There
we're
you
good.
go. Yeah, you're good.
I definitely didn't fail that in practice. No,
No,
not
not
me.
at all. No, no.
There is a lot of lag because, of course, it's a water stage. There's always got to be lag. So it can eat your inputs. And also, if you miss the rings and don't have a way of getting back up, it becomes a very slow stage.
Oh, especially if you get down to the bottom right. Oh, nice bonk on the wall there for perfect spring landing. Gonna do the same again in this stage. There's a lot of ring boxes. Gonna just land on the side there, charge out the peel out, big old jump over to the final set of ring boxes, and ta-da! Both stages in Aqua Plant done immediately.
Yes.
Really quick.
So Act 3 could go well. It could not. We'll see. It's another one where there's a slight level layout difference than SMS, and I managed to figure out how to utilize that to my advantage here. There we go. I'm going to take that invincibility because that's the only way I can get to this ring box in this version, and I want those rings. I am going to focus on this boss.
All right, so the boss is going to start by summoning a couple of these little enemies. Now, there are 2 enemies overlapped on top of each other there, so it doesn't need to give 2 hits to destroy it. And then the boss itself is going to come down. We're going to try and bounce ourselves on the side here, trying to make sure we get as many hits as we can, taking intentional damage boosts. That's why we needed those ring boxes to get that ring through. And then the boss will eventually explode. There's the big jump going to come out of there.
A little on the slow side, so he has to come back down, then go back up.
Yeah, but...
So you can get stuck against the wall on the boss and get all the hits really quick, but I have not found a consistent way of doing that yet.
Yeah.
So that's still slightly faster than doing this normally.
Still a smooth fight, though, getting those quick hits in there. And then you know what's coming next, because it's an 8-bit video game.
So this is another stage that had a route difference compared to SMS up until the other day when I tested this out and realized, getting the emeralds actually a bit quicker. Barely, but, barely is still quicker.
Yep. We're going to jump our way around. We are going to go through the tubes. And we're going to grab ourselves a whole bunch of rings and get into the special stage and leave it. It is exactly the same as the Sega Master System version now, which is really cool. And then away we go. Going to escape again into Electric Egg 2 with more tubes available.
Gotta have our tubes.
Every time. You know it's the last level in an 8-bit game when there's tubes there.
So avoided that pipe. That's good. Just got a couple jumps to go, and then the stage is pretty much right to win. Nothing crazy going on here. I do have to land on this platform. Wait a little bit. Right about there.
Smooth.
And we are on to the last boss. My peel outs are pretty good this entire run.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
You've done well. No bongs on any of the walls that I've noticed.
Maybe one, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the worst, it's fine if you run right and bonk because you were early. You do not want to be caught with no momentum when the screen lock disappears, or else that is a massive time loss. All right, I'm going to hold left here, quickly switch to right, getting into that gap. That's a very tight window to do. Arg, you can talk about the boss.
We're going to take our Eggman for a walk here. Using the audio cue here, we're going to stay on the left side of the boss as we're donking because that'll make the boss fire a horizontal orb. If you manage to go on the right-hand side, he will fire a tennis ball that will donk around the map like the DVD logo and will cause you nothing but problems. It is much harder in this version of the game because, as you saw, Finalflame has no rings. Final hit coming up here, going to time a jump, and then going to time the second jump to immediately land on his face, do the peel out to the end.
Time's coming up.
And time comes up when we hit the platform.
Time.
Yeah.
GG.
Make it
Nice. Yeah, if this run was 2 weeks ago, that would have been just behind my PB. Not bad at all. About that boss, even if you had rings going into it, phase 1, you get hit, you lose your rings, it's normal. But that very last hit, even if you have rings, if you get hit, Robotnik, you will die. It's as if you have no rings. Yeah, that is Sonic Chaos for the Sega Game Gear. Hope everybody enjoyed. Definitely, if you're looking to get into Sonic speedrunning and you have some nostalgia for the older days, like I do, growing up with a Game Gear, or rather my brother's Game Gear, This is definitely a good game to get started on. As you can see, it's very short. I'd say it's beginner friendly, short stages. So if you just like practicing small bits at a time, it works out really well.
It is. It's a fantastic game, honestly. It's a lot of fun learning the 8-bit games. I was apprehensive about starting them because it's like, being a 16-bit player all my life, it's like, do I really want to do these? The answer is yes. They're really fun.
Some of them are hard. Sonic 1 Game Gear, that's another one I'm running, and that one's very difficult. Sonic 2, I understand why people struggle with it. I've played it for years now, so it doesn't bother me. This one, honestly, I don't put that much time into relative to other games, and still have a really good time. I actually currently have the world record with an 11:52 I got about a week ago. I'd love to see someone come along and try and get that from me. That'd be kind of nice to see some more runners.
They've just heard your, they've just heard the chonky Sega.
I don't mind it. I'm so used to Game Gear sounds. I enjoy it. That's all I've got. Do you have any final words?
That's all I've got as well. Other than make sure you go follow Finalflame, everybody. Links in the chat for Finalflame's channel if you want to see more 8-bit shenanigans. If you want to be taught the game, I'm 99% sure Finalflame would be more than happy to teach you.
I'd love to. On that note, thank you very much, Argick. I appreciate you joining in. As you can tell, this game does take a little bit of focus from me.
No worries.
And we'll hand it back off to Hibby here.
Thank you, nicely done. That was a good fun. That was good fun. And I mean, if your perception of 8-bit games, like Sonic games, has become one thing, you've seen the platforming, like they're quite consistent between these two games. You are not ready for what you're about to experience in this next run. We're about to have Sonic Labyrinth. I really don't want to spoil it, so just wait and see what happens. So everybody, thank you so much again, Argick and Finalflame. Please do stick around. We will be back very shortly with King Roads and Sonic Labyrinth.